Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, final hour coming your way here this morning. Big thanks for hanging out with us and, making us part of your Wednesday morning of this August 26th. Surveyor with a quick text. Don't know who it is, but Surveyor said just overheard your voice a few minutes ago playing from a plumber's radio at the new AutoZone in Lake Hallie. Just giving a shout out to that man and for him busting his butt. Well, shout out to him too. Big thanks for tuning in. If you are that plumber, hit us up with a text. 715-830-1912. We've got a What If Wednesday hanging out here. Give you some fun what ifs. All right, if you can text those on over or hang out in the Section 105 video stream. Also, what are some of your what are we doing here? All right, what are we doing here? Send those puppies on over too. All right, what you got? I want to kick off this hour continuing to get your thoughts on the Pat Murphy situation. I don't even want to call it a situation. What the thing that happened last night, benching Cooper Pratt. So if you missed it, Cooper Pratt got a little jammed, hit a little cue shot, a little pop-up to the right field between first base and right field. Was a single. Then he got yanked. Come to find out, it was because he didn't hustle. This was from Pat Murphy after the game when he was asked about the situation. Said, quote, he's a young player, and we asked him to get a bunt down, and he pulled back on a strike. First one was a good attempt. Second one, he pulled back on a strike right down the middle. The next at-bat, he popped up a ball to right field and didn't run, and the ball landed and stopped. He would have easily got to second. What could have happened after that? I'm not sure. But you can't have a guy not understanding that. And I felt like after the first at-bat, when he didn't attempt at a bunt with the ball right down the middle, and the second at-bat, the pop-up that landed fair, and he wasn't at second, it was time to let him know that. And it's not laziness. I know who this kid is. He's a great kid. It's not laziness. But you got to have your head in the game, because these games, like today, well, they come down to Lindor's great catch or an errant throw. You've got to be locked in if you're going to play at this level. So hopefully a good learning experience. I love the kid, and I believe in the kid immensely. He's got to be a player that does those things. He's not going to hit 30 homers at this point in his career. He's a great defender and a really capable offensive player. And we can't have that. It's just not tolerated by anybody. And it sends a message to everybody else, too, that you better run. For what it's worth, Cooper Pratt also chatted with the media in the clubhouse after the game. And this is what he had to say. Audio courtesy from EdMcCulveyBrewers.com.
Message do you take from that moment tonight?
I got to be better. Stuff that can't happen. It's not winning baseball. Didn't help the team win. And it won't happen again, that's for sure. From the not getting the bunt downs and not running hard to first and turning it into a double. It won't happen again. I can promise you that. It's not winning baseball. And, yeah.
What did happen on the single?
I don't have an excuse for it. I just should have ran hard, and I wasn't. I don't have an excuse for it. It's inexcusable.
As you came off, it looked like you were kind of trying to process it, figure it out. When you got to the dugout, what did the guys say?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't have an excuse for. Oh, maybe it would have been fair. Maybe it would have. There is no excuse. I should have ran hard. No matter even if it is foul, fair, if it's an out, I should have been busting my balls to get to second base. And some of the guys pulled me aside and just let me know, like, hey, this is how we do it here, and I know that, and I just that it won't happen again, and they let me know, and they make sure to let me know that. I mean, it's a learning experience, but yeah.
What does it mean to be a part of a team that has standards like this that, will kind of let you know in this way? Yeah,
I know. I mean, our goal is to win, and my job is to help the team win. And I didn't do that today. And, I mean, they hold you accountable, which is good. I need that. And it will never happen again.
What's the key to turning the page for tomorrow?
I mean, the game's over. It's a new day. Tomorrow, just like if you get 3 hits the day before, it's a new day tomorrow. Go in, practice, and best believe I'll be running as hard as I can.
Did Pat make that clear to you? Like, hey, it happened, it's over, tomorrow's a new day for us, and nothing lingering?
I mean, it's known. There's a certain way we play here, and I maybe knew, but it doesn't matter. It's the way we're taught through the organization, from rookie ball to the big leagues, and I didn't do that, and I will do that. No excuses.
All right, again, that was Cooper Pratt after the game last night, and I know there's people looking at the videos, and there's looking at like, well, would he have even made second base if he was running? And I get it. Like, I even looked at him like, that would have been really close. That would have been close. But I don't think that's the point that Pat Murphy and maybe the team was trying to throw out there. I think you factor in, that was probably the tipping point last night, where the bunt part, like, we didn't know about the bunt part situation, that he was told to do this and, didn't lay it down. All right, so that was one. And then that was probably the tipping point. And I think the message, this is just me, but I think the message that Murphy is maybe sending some of these younger guys, and you got to go back. I know Kurt Hogg posted up a couple pics last night. It looked like, Joey Ortiz was telling Cooper Pratt to go sit by Jake Bauers. And, Jake Bauers is probably the perfect recent definition of, like, run out of the box. Because he, with that Mariners game last Tuesday, he stretched a hit into a double, and then, he gets sent on another hit going across third and knocks the ball out of Cal Raleigh's glove. Otherwise, he's, like, dead in his sights. So, I mean, you got Bauers who's trucking around and doing that. I just think the message that Pat Murphy is trying to send is, if we want to win this thing, if we want to be a team that gets through this loaded National League, get to a World Series, win a World Series, we're going to have to put a little bit extra effort in it. We're going to have to do all the extra, little things just a little bit better than everybody else. You look at the comparison is the Dodgers. I mean, before we headed off for football last night, we had a pregame on for the Dodgers and Braves game on TV. Okay. And the crew was playing this game where you pick your 4 starters from the Dodgers, you pick a bullpen arm, and you pick your closer. The fact that they're having that, they had Ohtani closing. The fact that they were having that type of game because they had so many options, like Tyler Glasnow they had coming out of the pen. But that's how ridiculous this team is, and that's the pitching side of things. And I think that's kind of the point that Murphy is trying to show his team, and maybe some of the younger guys who, especially, Pratt's new this year. Hey, we've got high expectations on this team. And if we want to be a team that is going to win, and that we are going to be a team that is going to get to the World Series, win a World Series, we got to do things just a little bit more than maybe some of the other teams. We don't have as much firepower as teams like the Dodgers. So that means we have got to put just a little bit more effort. We have got to play 100%. I know it's one of those phrases that probably a lot of people roll their eye about, or coaches roll their eyes about always play 100%. Maybe it gets overplayed a little bit. But I truly believe that is the message, and I think this is maybe a little bit of the college side of Murphy coming to surface here with some of these younger guys. If we want to reach our goals and we want to reach the top, we got to do these things all the time, every time. We got to be 100% all the time, every time. You can't let up. And I know people have said, well, tell that to Contreras. Sometimes he just kind of jogs down to first when he knows it's a clear route. And I don't know if that's, a veteran compared to, newbie, rookie, could be. But I think, and maybe Cooper Pratt was kind of a sacrificial lamb for everybody else on that team too. And sending a message to everybody else on that team, not just Pratt and not just the youngsters, but maybe some of the vets too. I personally feel like, that's just my opinion, that's the message Murphy is throwing out there. We have got to do the little things great. We have got to do the little things 100% every single time. If that's how we want to win. Or if we want to win in the World Series. If we want to get to a World Series. They ain't going to out-homer teams. They can score runs. They can get on base. They're struggling right now for runners in scoring position. And if that's going to be a trend that continues, which that can't happen in the postseason either. I mean, you can't have runners on third and second with nobody out and not get a run. That's inexcusable in the postseason. That cannot happen. Or you can't begin extra innings with one of your fastest guys on second, nobody out, and the top of the order coming up, and nothing. You can't even move the guy. That stuff can't happen. They've got to do all the little things right. They can't get away with maybe playing 95%, 90%, 95%. Teams like the Dodgers, okay, maybe they can get away with playing 90% when it comes to the postseason. Brewers, they can't. And I think that's a big part of the message that Murphy is trying to send. Let's take a look at Game 2 tonight. Dustin May is on the mound here for the Brewers, looking for a little bit of a bounce-back win or bounce-back performance. We'll preview that coming up after these few words. Make sure you're hitting up the latest sales going on at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire this week. We're talking about $1.99 pounds, Sanderson Farms fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breasts, 39-cent 6-ounce Hy-Vee yogurts. Perfect for packets of school lunches for the kiddos. How about loading up those deep freezers here in Wisconsin, the frozen pizza capital of the world? Buy 3, get 1 free for Jack's Pizzas. We've got $5.49 LaCroix, 12 packs of sparkling water, $2.99 with the purchase of 2 Frito-Lay Ruffles, Tostitos chips, salsa, queso, or dip. Hey, talking about tailgating. Perfect tailgating snacks right there, peeps. You can also unlock some more savings with perks and save some money at the gas pump. Like if you go out to Hy-Vee and you purchase some M&M's ice cream sandwiches, $4.99, but you also earn 5 cents off per gallon. $2.99 at Gold Peak Tea, 59-ounce, 5 cents off the gallon. So head on over to Hy-Vee in Eau Claire's Facebook page to check out all of the latest and greatest sales going on at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. All right, what else? This just popped up. Okay, I hope something's done with this now. So there's a report from CBS Sports. I'm going to get back to Brewers here in Scotia. CBS reports that Lane Kiffin and the LSU Tigers reached out to multiple players on NFL rosters or their representation in an effort to get them to bring a lawsuit against the NCAA and return to school. CBS Sports also reports, this according to Pro Football Talk, that LSU has had conversations with others who remain in NFL camps ahead of the league's cut day on August 30th. As Pro Football Talk noted, based on CBS Sports' report, Kiffin isn't simply reacting to a development over which he had no control. Instead, he's hoping to reap the intended benefit of an outcome he helped engineer. If that's true, if that's true, something's got to be done. And I'm talking like something's got to be done towards LSU and something's got to be done towards Lane Kiffin. Because what are we doing here? This can't happen. That is so shady. There's got to be some sort of punishment. Kiffin, yeah, I'm reading it right now from CBS Sports. Kiffin and the Tigers reached out to multiple players on NFL rosters or their representation in an effort to get them to bring a lawsuit against the NCAA and return to school. LSU isn't the only SEC program doing it, but the Tigers led the initial movement, which tipped over dominoes for other teams in the league. Yeah, this ain't going, like we were saying earlier, this definitely ain't going away for a while. There's probably going to be more stuff that pops out with this. So, all right. Brewers. Back to a little Brewers chat here. Brew Crew, back at it tonight. Game 2, 6:10, first pitch. You can listen to the game on your radio dials, 105.1 FM, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Dustin May is on the mound. Brewers and Dustin May looking for a little bit of a bounce back. Last time we saw him was that quick outing against the Mariners where he gave up 7 earned runs in a couple of innings. So we need to see Dustin May come back out and have a bounce back game. Brewers need it too. They need it too. Just maybe confidence-wise, or I don't want to come in tomorrow morning and be like, oh, should we be worried about Dustin May now? He should be kind of fresh. I mean, just pitched 2 innings. He pitched, pitch count was maybe a little bit up there, but what was it here? I have it right here. He was at, 66 pitches. I mean, should still be pretty darn fresh with that. I want to see, he set the bar high when he first got to Milwaukee. Pittsburgh, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, picked up a win. No decision at San Diego, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. You set the bar high, but that's kind of the bar now. So, Kyle Harrison, though, last night, he had a nice bounce-back game. Quality start for him. We need a quality start for Dustin May tonight. That's the expectation I have for him. And I really hope that maybe the offense kind of comes out here and kicks it into gear and has a little bit more pep in their step, if you know what I mean. You cannot win games in October by going, what was it in the last couple of games here? 4 for 26 with runners in scoring position. That's unacceptable. That is not playoff-worthy ball. Yeah, they were 2 for 14 last night, 4 for 26 in their last couple of games. Pitching is not the problem right now for the Brewers. And it's probably for a lot of Brewers fans saying, repeat of last year. Pitching's not the problem. It's the offense. The offense is scoring runs. You look at it from league-wise, season-wise, year-long, they've been up there. Maybe it's just a little bit of a funk, but you can't get in the postseason. You can't get away with winning in the postseason by having those issues with runners in scoring position. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll talk a little green and gold as we get set for joint practice with the Cardinals later this morning. We'll talk some football coming up in just a couple minutes. Hey, we got 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL season. So don't forget to sign up for our Pro Football Weekly Pick'em Challenge. Just head to our website, sportstock1051.com. On the homepage there, you can just scroll down you might have to scroll down a little bit depending on if you're using computer, tablet, or your mobile device. But you'll see the icon that says Win Stuff. Okay, you want to click on Win Stuff. It's right below broadcasting from the TDS Studios logo. So you click on that. It'll open up another window, and then you click on the Pro Football Challenge. That's the one you click, okay? And you start to make your picks. At the end of the year, whoever has the most amount of picks correct, you're going to win some prizes. Big thanks to Home Oasis and Wisco's, who are bringing that to all of us. So big thanks for your partnership, Home Oasis and Wisco's. Packers will start to wrap up training camp today with a joint practice against the Arizona Cardinals. And I think this is what is this now? The Bucks a few minutes ago, about a half hour ago, but it just popped up because, I'll be honest, I'm not paying attention to anything Bucks. They posted a kind of an image, a weird image of their logo, but then something new is coming soon. 9/15/26. Nike's with it. I wonder if we got another jersey. I wonder if that's what it is. All right. Anyways, speaking of jerseys, Packers with their new jerseys. I think this is an important day for a lot of the established starters. Jordan Love, some of the members on the offensive line, the receivers, defense, et cetera, the established starters, the guys that we know, or even the primary backups, the guys that we know are locks on this team. Okay? It's an important day because this is really going to be their last work. They'll have work. They'll practice against their own team and that, but going up against a different team, this is going to be kind of one of their final major tune-ups before the regular season begins 2 weeks from this weekend. They're not playing in the preseason game. Maybe some starters are, but the primary ones, like Love, by all accounts, is not going to be playing Friday night at Lambeau. So this is important to kind of get that work in. Matt LaFleur mentioned the other day that they maybe even open up their playbook a little bit because they trust that his brother and the Cardinals are not going to send that film out to other teams or share that stuff or share that info. So it's important because you factor both of those into the equation. But it's also incredibly important for those roster bubble guys, whether it's a Will Shepard, whether it's a Strong, whether it's a Anthony Campbell. Guys that are making and have made big-time cases to make this team. If they go out there today and they continue to build up that resume and they continue to impress, and then you follow it up with your last chance on Friday in that game against the Cardinals, well, you made it really hard on Goody and the Packers to maybe move on from you. But the other part in this here, too, is like, okay, you roster bubble guys. I don't know if they're thinking about this, but it crossed my mind. Arizona is not a good team. They're probably not going to be a good team this year. They have some roster holes. Some of you guys, all right, this is kind of a tryout in front of the Cardinals, too, right? Be like, hey, I ball out. I play well. I continue to play well. They're going to have a firsthand glimpse of that. Other teams are going to watch, preseason film when they have their scouts all over the board, and you're going to hear that. You've been hearing that all preseason long. They're not just playing for their team; they're playing for the other teams too to potentially pick them up on waivers or practice squads. And it's true. But it's really, I mean, it's like a no-duh kind of comment, but incredibly important for those roster bubble guys to maybe make a last effort, last showcase, last case to make the Packers. But also, you got a team that's going to come in here that might have more opportunities to play, might have more holes on their roster. With the Cardinals coming in here. Biggest thing, I think both teams that everybody wants, and let's just get it out of the way, stay healthy. Be healthy, no injuries, nothing stupid. Let's get some good work in, get a good practice in, get ready for Friday, and then we're on to the regular season. That's how I'm approaching it. But I look at, these next 2 days, if like today and Friday, Anthony Campbell, Will Shepard, J. Mike, Isaiah, maybe even Carl Brooks. Carl Brooks, that defensive line, I think that is the toughest decision that Goody, LaFleur, the Packers are going to have when it comes down to cut day on Sunday. And I think they're not going to have a number in their mind of how many receivers they're going to keep. I know a lot of people are talking about 7. Are they going to keep 7? How many are they going to just keep 6? I think, and we've heard this before in the past, they're going to go through their list, and whatever happens, and whatever works. Maybe they view a wide receiver. If they get to a point, let's just say, okay, Will Shepard or Carl Brooks. Who can help out where the most? Who's maybe a better special teams contributor? Where do we feel better about the depth compared to this position and that position? It might come down to something like that. And I know that was a thing. Was that 13, 14? I think it was 14 when the Packers carried like 3 quarterbacks. It was Tolzien, Flynn, and Rodgers. Like, they're not carrying 2. But then it ended up being like, okay, they just viewed the 3rd quarterback as a better option than another player, another spot in that position group. But I think defensive line is going to be the toughest one. And the other factor into that, too, is it's a 3-4 defense. You played nickel. You're only going to have 2 down defensive linemen. And I think it's been a pleasant surprise for this team to see the improvement from Jonathan Ford this year. Brinson looked like he has been playing well, but now he's banged up. You got Stackhouse, who lost some time last year. You got the rookie in here. You added Jonathan Hargrave. And then Anthony Campbell just flashing big time. That's going to be the toughest one to figure out. I'm going to do my roster prediction. I'm probably going to wait until Friday to do it, maybe even after that final preseason game. But I still truly believe Green Bay's probably got it narrowed down. They won't publicly say it, but they got it probably narrowed down to 50. And really the last couple of spots are maybe up for grabs. And I think it's between wide receiver and defensive line as the big ones. All right, we got to take our final break here. We got some picks to get to. Will the Brewers bounce back tonight and get in the win column? We'll pick that and more baseball games coming up in just a couple minutes. All right, we only got about 10 minutes left until we're done for today, and then we're on to Thursday. Let's make some picks here. Baseball picks, that is. At least with the Brewers' loss, they didn't really lose anything in the standings, which we'll get to here in just a second. But first off, games-wise, we've got Tampa Bay taking on Detroit. Freddie Peralta has not been having a good start to his Tampa Bay tenure. I'm going to go Detroit tonight, or this afternoon, excuse me. Chicago at Arizona. I'll go Cubbies. Matthew Boyd's on the mound. Eduardo Rodriguez, so two. I'm going to go Cubs. Reds, Giants. Give me the Reds. Guardians versus the Angels. Guardians. Phillies, Mariners. Seattle's taking the first two. I'll get Philly for a bounce-back game. Pittsburgh versus the Padres. Pittsburgh picking up a 1-0 win last night. Or, excuse me, 1-0 win last night. Mason Miller picking up the loss. How about that? I'll go with San Diego picking up the win. Boston versus Miami. Sonny Gray's on the mound. I'll go with the Red Sox. Rockies take it on the Nationals. Astros, Yankees. I'll go Yankees. Royals, Toronto. I'll go with the Blue Jays. Dodgers, Braves. Sasaki. I'll go with Dodgers today. Rangers and the White Sox. I'll go White Sox. Baltimore versus the Cardinals. I'll go Baltimore. Minnesota versus the A's. Give me Minnesota. And then Brewers taking on the Mets. Dustin May, Robert Stock. Not Robert Stock from Unsolved Mysteries, but I'll go Brewers picking up the win today. With kind of just an update where things are at in the standings, the Tampa Bay Rays are still holding on to a 3.5-game lead over the Yankees in the AL East. The Boston Red Sox are 5 back in the AL West. It's a little bit closer. White Sox holding on to a 2.5-game lead over Cleveland. And then Minnesota 5.5 back, Tigers 7 back. You've got the Royals 10.5 back, but they've won 9 in a row now. But Houston holding on to a very slight lead in the AL West. They're at 500. Half-game lead over Texas. Mariners 2.5 back. National League East, Atlanta now a 4.5-game lead over the Phillies. Phillies have lost their last 2. Atlanta have won their last 2. Marlins still 10.5 back, 1 game above 500. Hey, Marlins, you'd be leading the AL West if you were in that division. The National League Central, Brewers holding on to a 5.5-game lead over the Cubs. Dodgers, 9.5-game lead over the Padres. Nothing really has changed in terms of wild card chase, although Cleveland is still holding on to the 3rd spot in the AL. Texas 1 back. Baltimore's 2.5 back. Seattle 3 back. Minnesota 3 back. Toronto 3 back. Detroit 4.5 back. Not a lot of change either in the National League. Padres holding on to that final spot. Arizona's 1 back. Miami's 4. Cardinals 5. Pirates 6.5. So I saw, again, watching that pregame yesterday where they were very heavy on the Dodgers, and I get it because those Dodgers were Braves. But they had like the predictive markets, and it was like 44% for the Dodgers to come out of the National League. I think it was just the National League. I don't think it was World Series. I think it was just the National League. I could be wrong. Brewers were next at 22. Braves were 5th at 9, but right behind the Braves was the Pirates at 6%. Pirates are 4 games under 5. They ain't even going to make the playoffs. I don't know who's betting on the Pirates, but don't think so. All right, so we only got a few minutes left. If you missed Ty from Slab Factory earlier with us, that is now up on the Man Cave podcast. So if you could be a friend, go to the Man Cave podcast on Apple or Spotify, 5-star rating, and just leave a review, okay? You could say thumbs up. You could say whatever. 5-star review, 5-star rating, positive review, because it helps the algorithms out there. Or Spotify, you don't even have to leave a review, just 5 stars. YouTube, don't forget to follow, subscribe. I hate using the word subscribe, but it is the word. It's for free. Ring that bell, follow it. Would really appreciate it. We're going to attempt to do a live episode of the Kid Cave tonight. It's going to do a little after-school programming trend here. I'm going to shoot for maybe every other Wednesday or every Wednesday for that little different format. So, but that should be coming possibly today. But yeah, that episode of the Man Cave podcast is now up for your listening. If you missed Ty from Slab Factory, talking some cards, good conversation, about 28 minutes worth over there. All right, tonight again too. You got Brewers 6:10 first pitch. you can listen to the game, of course, on your radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Pre-game coverage will begin at 5:35. Practice is going to start at 11:30 today between the Packers and the Cardinals. They moved it back a little bit. I believe that the Cardinals will be riding the bikes too, so I'm sure there's plenty of kids over there if they're not in school yet, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty of options for everybody to ride on that bike and enjoy what I think is still one of the best traditions in all of sports, and maybe doesn't get as much praise, publicity as it should. Kind of one of those that under the radar, and I get it, it's only like for a few weeks at the end of summer, but it's still pretty darn cool. I think it's still pretty darn cool. So, but I don't know if LaFleur is talking before. I would have thought if he was talking before, he'd be over there or he'd be chatting right now, but could be wrong. Maybe since they pushed practice to 11:30, they pushed his presser to about 10:30. If we kind of follow the same, I guess, format. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'm kind of jealous of the fellow media members that get to go and watch that one. I should have planned it better. Maybe went over today, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But it should be fun. So just no stupid stuff. Okay, nobody get hurt. Nobody from Green Bay get hurt. No fights. No, nothing dumb. Okay, get through this practice. Get some good work in. All right. Do a few things where you're opening up your playbook that you normally wouldn't do. Get through the day. Friday, final preseason game. Everybody get through smooth. And let's get to the roster cut downs. And on to the regular season. We'll be on to Minnesota. Tomorrow, with it being Thursday, your homework assignment, peeps. 3 up and a 3 down. It's like stock reports. Give me your 3 things that are rising and 3 things that are falling. Think about that for a little bit and turn in your assignments right away tomorrow morning. You want to be ahead of the game? You could turn it in early. All right? Hit me up. Shoot me with a text, 715-830-1912. Or put it up on social media if you want. So when I post a link to the podcast episode, I threw this out earlier too. Hey, email me, Facebook it, Twitter it, Instagram it, text it to the Shoe Doctors bullpen line. I know you all have some. You got a card. You got a sports card. What's your favorite one? Or just shoot me a quick photo of your collection. That way I can share it with Ty the next time he's on, which will probably be in a couple weeks, since we're always kind of like bi-weekly in that. So, all right, that's going to do it for us because the shot clock is going to cut me off in about 20 seconds. So have a great rest of your day on this final Wednesday of the month of August. Ooh, I know, like Eau Claire kids, you start school a week from today. I don't want to see my kid continue to grow, but enjoy the rest of like the last week of summer vacay. All right, have a good rest of your day.